So you're thinking about leaving New York City. Maybe this thought has been floating around quietly in your head for a while. Maybe it hit you hard the first time your kid asked why they couldn't run around outside. Maybe it happened when your rent went up again and again and you felt the familiar pit in your stomach. Or maybe nothing is wrong at all. You just feel like you might be ready for something different. If Fairfield County, Connecticut is on your radar, you're not alone. My name is Chris Giolito. I'm a local Fairfield County realtor, and I help a lot of families relocate from New York City and figure out which town here actually fits their life, not just their budget. I live here, I work here, and I spend most of my time helping people answer one big question. Is this move actually worth it? Today, we're not just talking about houses, we're talking about the real cost of living in Fairfield County. Compared to New York City, not the headline numbers, not the Zillow fantasy, the real day-to-day reality. We're gonna talk about housing, property taxes, utilities, groceries, childcare, schools, commuting, lifestyle, spending, and something people rarely factor in, which is the mental cost. Halfway through the video, I will also tell you how I can help buyers decide if this move makes sense for them personally, because this is not a one-size-fits-all. All right, let's slow this down and really get into it. When most people start thinking about moving out of New York City, they focus almost entirely on housing, and that makes sense. Housing is the biggest number on your monthly spreadsheet. You open Zillow, you change the map from Brooklyn or Manhattan to Fairfield County, and then your brain short circuits a little bit. You see a 4-bedroom house, a driveway, a backyard, a finished basement, and the price is often close to what you would expect for a much smaller space in the city. This is where people either get excited or scared, because here is the truth. Fairfield County is not cheap, and it's not a bargain suburb. What it is a value shift. In New York City, you're paying for proximity, density, and access. In Fairfield County, you're paying for space, schools, privacy, and lifestyle. Those are very different things. So let's break that down by town so that you can actually picture it. Greenwich sits at the western edge of Fairfield County and is often the first town New York City buyers look at. It has one of the lowest property tax rates in Connecticut, a beautiful downtown, train access, beaches, private clubs, and some of the most expensive real estate in the state. Greenwich works very well for buyers who want luxury, prestige, and a quick train ride into Manhattan. Westport is also firmly high-end, and it's in its own category. It has top-tier schools, multiple beaches, a strong and polished downtown, and consistently high demand. Homes here regularly sell well into the multi-million range, and the property tax rate is relatively low compared to much of Connecticut. But because values are high, the actual tax bills are still meaningful. Westport tends to attract families who want a premium suburban lifestyle and are comfortable paying for it. Fairfield is different. It's still coastal. It still has beaches. It has a real downtown. It has 2 universities, but the housing range is much broader. You will see starter homes, move-up homes, and high-end homes all coexisting. Fairfield often becomes the landing spot for New York City families who want a balance between lifestyle and budget, without feeling like they are sacrificing community or amenities. Norwalk and Stamford offer even more variety. Norwalk is one of the most flexible towns in the county. You have true coastal neighborhoods like Rowayton, suburban neighborhoods like Cranberry, and areas with condos and multifamily homes that make entry a little bit easier. Norwalk appeals to buyers who want choice and long-term upside. Stamford is the closest thing Fairfield County has to a true city. It has major employers, high-rise living, nightlife, and also quiet residential pockets once you move a bit north. Some New York City buyers choose Stamford because it still feels urban, but gives them more space and often a shorter commute if they work locally. Then you have Darien, New Canaan, Wilton, and Richfield. These towns are often chosen for schools and community feel. Darien and New Canaan lean more polished and high-end. Wilton and Richfield offer more wooded, spread-out living. These are the towns people imagine when they think of classic New England suburb life. So housing costs vary widely, but here's the key point. In Fairfield County, you are rarely buying just a house. You're buying a town. You're buying schools, traffic patterns, neighbors, parks, beaches, and community culture. That matters more than people realize. Now let's talk about property taxes, because this is where bad information scares people off. Connecticut property taxes are based on mill rates. Greenwich has one of the lowest mill rates in the state. Westport is also relatively low. Darien and Wilton fall into a similar range. Fairfield, Norwalk, and Stamford have higher mill rates, but the mill rate alone does not tell the full story. A lower mill rate on a $3 million house can still mean a very very large tax bill. A higher mill rate on a lower priced home can sometimes result in a similar annual cost. This is why blanket statements about taxes are dangerous. You have to look at the specific house, not just the town. Utilities are another adjustment. If you're coming from an apartment where heat is included, owning a house in Connecticut feels different. You now pay for heating oil or natural gas, electricity, water, and sometimes sewer. Winter heating bills exist. Summer air conditioning bills exist. The good news is control. You control usage. You control upgrades. Over time, most homeowners find utilities predictable and manageable, especially compared to what they were paying in city rent increases. Now let's talk about food, because this is where people start to feel the lifestyle shift immediately. Grocery shopping in Fairfield County is calmer. Parking exists. Stores are larger, you can buy in bulk. Prices are generally comparable to New York City and often slightly lower depending on where you shop. Dining out is excellent. Westport, Greenwich, Darien, New Canaan, Norwalk, Stamford, Fairfield all have strong restaurant scenes. You can absolutely spend money eating out here, but many families find they eat out less because hosting becomes easier. You have space, you have a yard, you have a grill. That changes habits. Childcare and schools are often the emotional center of this new decision. Fairfield County is known for strong public schools. Westport, Darien, New Canaan, Wilton, and others rank very high. Fairfield and Richfield are also strong. One major difference from New York City is predictability. You know which school your child attends based on your address. That alone removes an enormous amount of stress for many parents. Childcare is still expensive, but often slightly less than Manhattan. More importantly, it feels logistically easier. Drop-offs are simpler, facilities are larger, and outdoor space is common. Now, let's talk about commuting. Metro North connects Fairfield County directly into Grand Central. Towns like Greenwich, Stamford, Darien, Norwalk, Westport, and Fairfield all have stations. Monthly passes cost a few $100s. Parking varies by town. What surprises many buyers is that commuting often decreases after the move. Hybrid work, local jobs, and home offices change the equation. Many people who move here are not commuting 5 days a week. Now, we need to talk about the cost nobody budgets for: mental load. In New York City, life is loud. It's fast, it's stimulating, and that can be amazing. It can also be exhausting over time. In Fairfield County, the pace changes. You trade some spontaneity for predictability. You trade constant stimulation for space. You trade noise for some quiet. For many families, this shift dramatically improves quality of life. Kids sleep better, parents feel calmer, weekends feel restorative instead of draining. This doesn't mean Fairfield County is better. It means it's better for a certain phase of life. Quick pause here. If you're watching this and thinking, this sounds like exactly what I'm wrestling with, this is what I do professionally. I help people compare towns, budgets, commutes, and lifestyles. And if you want help figuring out whether this move makes sense for you, reach out anytime. No pressure. Even if you are a year out, it helps to start with clarity. All right, now let's keep going. Who should move here? You'll likely love Fairfield County if you want space, strong schools, calmer weekends, and still want access to New York City. You may not love it if you need constant nightlife, hate driving, or want a dramatically lower cost of living than the Northeast offers. Now, how do you choose the right town? Ask yourself, do I care more about schools or walkability? Do I want coastal or wooded? Do I want polished or relaxed? Do I want proximity to New York City or to nature? Greenwich and Westport skew premium and coastal. Darien and New Canaan skew school-driven and polished. Wilton and Richfield skew quiet and wooded. Fairfield skews balanced and family-friendly. Norwalk and Stamford skew flexible and dynamic. The right town is the one that fits your daily life, not just your budget. Here is what I recommend as a next step. Write down your real monthly New York City number. Rent or mortgage, utilities, transit, childcare, food, everything. Then compare it to a realistic Fairfield County scenario. Not worst case, not best case, realistic. Then ask yourself, how do you want your days to feel? If you want help doing that, reach out. That is literally my job. If this video helped you, subscribe to the channel. I break down towns, neighborhoods, and real life here every week. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or relocating to Fairfield County, I would love to help you make that decision that actually fits your life. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.